Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 1. Last time we did some exploring, watched a couple of cutscenes, and got control of most of our party members. Talking to Matthews at this point, now that we've gotten past that point in the plot and we're back at the Kukai Foundation, or well, at the Kukai Foundation to begin with, we now have access to launching and going back to Dock Colony, which will be important. Now, in this game, we can't skip a lot of these little mini cutscenes that show you going to places. We also can't do a whole lot over here that we couldn't already do before. Do remember that talking to her said something about a fish detector and the Kukai Foundation? Well, we're going to go there fairly shortly, so we're going to have access to potentially finding that. Do remember that when we were in the cathedral ship, we found... Where is it? Where is it? The flower seed, the seed of the Ariadne flower. And, doing so, if you remember, we had some talk before about potentially getting that to help Luti here begin to speak again, since she hasn't spoken since her parents were lost on the planet Ariadne. Anyway, at this point, she just comically nods and, but eventually we'll be able to get something for doing this. Now, this quest takes most of the game, but you don't have to do a whole lot with it, so it's not like it is all that difficult or anything. Now, going back to the Talk to Me shop will give you some pretty interesting choices now. They have a lot more items than they did before. No, you still can't buy toilet paper directly. However, we now have access to buying most of the +2 and all that other stuff. So we can get some better options here. I'm going to buy... I don't know why the red ring's more than anything else. But I have more than enough money now, so I'm going to get myself a total of 3 of those. And I want up to 3 of those. I may or may not be using them. We'll see. Basically, I'm just doing that. They also have the same upgrades that we bought on the Durandal there. I guess I could probably buy the defense ones as well, but meh, whatever. They have access to the same things that we've already seen, protection against those things. They also have some more stuff for gears, and you can buy the anti-whatever armors here if you want to use them. And the guard recovery item that we got already, and all this other stuff that, would actually be useful if we decided to use them. But in this game, we don't have to. In other games, we do. Do note that this is here. We can actually buy different eggs, and this one, as you can see, is 50,000, which is why we need the money that we got there. There's actually another one later in the game that costs even more money, and since I'm not using them anyway, I'm basically going to save my money because I just don't care. At this point, we can also sell all the excess stuff. The unicorn horns that we got before, we can sell all those. Don't need those anymore. Let's go up here. What else do I have that I can sell? Hemlock is an item that we kept getting. I haven't really looked into using that. I know it reduces your allies' HP to 1. I would guess it's just for selling, but meh, whatever. As you can see, doing the drill game, I got a lot of escape packs and a lot of antidotes. So we don't really need to have anywhere close to all of those, so let's just sell a whole bunch of those. You can sell some escape packs too, though I found that having them with me is helpful when I play ahead to test things out, so that I can run from battles instead of taking forever and finishing them off. And that's pretty much all we need to do while we're here. Again, you could do eggs tuning if you so desire. I don't have a lot of need for it. Also remember that this kid was talking about a pink doll that used to be here. Again, that's going to come in handy very shortly. Now, that's pretty much all we can do over here, so let's just head back, talk to you, and head back to the Durandal. Not exactly docking sequences, these ones, but yeah, somewhat. Now, in order to continue, we need to go over here, go up here, and the shuttle is to go to the Kukai Foundation. Do you want to go? Yes. And once we do this, we will begin a new cutscene. This one takes place on the beach. And I guess they play volleyball.
Got it! Got it!
And Shion's got a bikini on too. Of course, why not? Of course, she's not actually enjoying herself on the beach, is she? No, we're doing cutscenes and flashbacks. Ah, Kevin.
Shion, would you laugh at me if I told you that I think she has a heart?
KOS-MOS? Showing emotional behavior?
I've run across some interesting phenomena. It's still pretty weak, of course. Almost like a tiny little pulse.
Really? We should definitely keep an eye on that. KOS-MOS elemental data structure duplicates that of the human brain.
Really?
So something like that's certainly not out of the question.
So it's possible then. Again, I've said it throughout the LP, there's a definite idea.
She was empathizing with Momo back there. I wonder what her subconscious waves were like. Flatline.
So no change
Oh
there.
well. Nothing here at all.
But they definitely talk about the idea of coming into one zone
What's
and
the
all that
matter,
other stuff.
Chief?
And Alan, you
didn't
look
come
like
down
an
to the
idiot.
beach just to stare at a screen all day, did you?
Why not?
Come on, Shion. Why don't you come and play with us?
Sorry. In a bit.
Are you working on KOS-MOS? It must be really tough.
Ah, KOS-MOS. She's got a lot of black box areas that even we can't analyze.
Black box?
Yeah. We're painstakingly analyzing her bit by bit so that we can recreate her original form again. The only person who knew everything about KOS-MOS was Kevin.
Oops. She's too involved in what she's doing, she didn't even hear you, buddy.
Say, Alan.
Yep, not at all.
Do you think Guinan and Junior are father and son?
Oh,
They look a
yeah.
little too far apart in age to be brothers.
I've heard rumors here and there. Some say Guinan cloned himself, while others say Junior's his illegitimate son, or...
I don't think he's a clone. Their genome arrays are a little too different for that.
Wow.
Okay.
You can actually see that, Momo?
I'm an observational realian.
So it
They're
seems.
more than just siblings, or father and son.
What do you mean?
But at the same time, they're not identical either.
Is that sort of thing
That doesn't make a
possible?
whole lot of sense.
Their DNA only has to differ by 0.1% to make them different people, right?
Hey, who's an illegitimate son?
Busted.
Man, this beach is really great. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel artificial at all.
It's our latest product. You can even change the weather.
Really? That would be
You can't have
awesome.
blue skies all the time,
No
right?
doubt. I like me some rain. Or some snow. Prefer it without the fogginess, but, oh well. Surprised, are we, Shion? Kind of
I
a
hate thunder.
strange shot, but
Shion.
really.
I hate thunder! I'm sorry. I just really hate thunder.
Shion.
Now, I can make the obvious comparison to Final Fantasy X with that scene,
Representative Helmer, busy as always, I see.
but I'm just going to talk very briefly. Like, the way they kind of did it in Final Fantasy X was more so comedic. In this, even though many of the lines are almost identical, they kind of draw it out so that you can kind of feel her fear and the emotion involved in that. We don't really know why yet, but we will in quite some time. We don't learn too much about that until later.
Oh, hello, Negredo. How are things going?
Negredo.
I don't really care for that name.
My apologies. I'm still not accustomed to calling you Guinan. So, how can I help you?
Another great voice actor.
We're currently headed your way, and we're carrying an unusual package. So I thought it best to inform you.
Oh?
We secured it from an unexpected source. The Federation cruiser Woglinde. It's an emulator.
The 12th one. That matches the UTIC records.
Right. There's no question that it's responsible for the planetary disappearance. Assuming they haven't constructed any more, that's all of them. Aside from the original, of course.
Of course.
That's clearly impossible, now that the only man who can create them is no longer alive.
True enough. And one more
And who
thing.
would that be?
We have the Contact Subcommittee's 100 series prototype.
How did that wind up in your hands?
I love that delivery. It sounds cheesy, but it's definitely
Is the
interesting.
ability to attract that sort of coincidence another one of your special powers?
Oh, you seem to know
Not
a little more about him.
but a probability, as a certain acquaintance might say. Anyway,
Really?
I'm concerned with what the UTIC organization is up to. You may want to step up your precautions.
I'll see what I can sniff out from the UMN Administration Bureau. We can locate any large-scale gate jumps from there.
Excellent idea. Assuming they have no emulators in their possession. The odds are that they'll go after the original sealed on Old Milsha.
Old Milsha.
Not to mention,
Udu.
I don't know what their ultimate goal is. But we can't allow that thing to reawaken again. no
Udu's a
matter
thing?
what.
What's Udu?
Understood. We'll prepare for your arrival. I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
That was Representative Helmer, voiced by the same guy who did Jed in Cowboy Bebop. Anyway, it's a lot of great voice acting talent. I'm not a big fan of Kevin's voice actor, but oh well. We only see him in flashbacks, so I guess that's not too bad. Don't have good memories, huh? Maybe you should go rest in a hotel in the city. I'll go to the Ellis after I get some rest. Alrighty then. Don't push yourself too hard. Well, there's already a room saved for us in town. Why we can't just go back to the Drandle? I guess we want to have fun. Anyway, speaking of fun, more emails, more emails. Now, basically what this says is there's another one. There, words and stuff. The guy that we put away, the hacker, he created a clone and somehow also younger sister of himself. And now she's on the whole thing, and she's going to try and do exactly what the other guy was doing and hack this and release that and all this other crap. Anyway, the idea here is, didn't want to make it too easy. She's basically daring us to find her. And so she encoded the words and gave us clues. And these clues will only reveal themselves if we have the disarm plugins. So, one of the 3 proposed locations from the hints given. So basically, yeah. So anything in, I guess it's aqua or teal or whatever, or yellow, is stuff that has been changed or revealed or whatever due to those decoder things. If we didn't have those, these would all be jumbled up or they'd be blank or whatever. Now, having all of them here, it's pretty obvious from the choices here. We're looking for something that has a bridge, so it's a ship. So Pleroma's an asteroid, so that doesn't really have that. A fountain. I don't remember if there's one on UTIC, but I know there's one on the Durandal. The only casino we've seen so far is also on the Durandal. Environmental bugs we saw on the Durandal. And there are no prison cells, which means definitely not Pleroma, and I think there were some on the UTIC battleship as well. So the obvious answer is the Durandal. However, if you do not have all of these revealed, you won't necessarily know. Technically, I guess you can make more money by answering different ones and not getting the decoders, and you could probably still guess right, but I figured I might as well show you that anyway. So anyway, the idea here is to respond immediately, and yeah, so let's head back. We'll talk to the little bunny guy a little bit here. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, so something about when they were hacking in, they found a nano machine or something. I don't know. And apparently, yeah, this guy apparently killed himself in jail, which is why the younger sister's after us now. Who knows? Anyway, it seems to be true. Might as well solve the quiz then. It's not too difficult. We've already pretty much done it. Anyway, we now have an option to reply. Select Durandal. You tick. There's some interesting lines if you read through what they say here. Yeah, specifically this one. Please speak revenge on me. Actually, I think it says it in all of them. But anyway, choose the Durandal, and that's pretty much all for that. That should be our 41st email with the sent one. 40th to get that there. And so with that being said, we can, I guess, kind of run along here. For some reason, Shion decided that she didn't want to run around in her bikini here. Though they do change that in a different game. We'll get into that months from now. And we find Ziggy here by trying to leave. What's wrong? Really? Junior, I don't think he really does play. I'm not sure how he heard about it. Maybe Alan mentioned it in passing or something like that. But it's nice that he came here to check on Shion. Don't push yourself too much. Now, we have access to this. Now, I can't remember if there's any... we have access to the world map, another thing that they did in Xenogears. Now, there's a bunch of different places we can go. I think down here is where I want to start, if I remember correctly. Yes, the eggs part shop. We would like to enter here. Not a whole lot we can do here, but you can buy stuff if you want. They have more egg stuff here. Do they have full eggs? No, you can't buy any more. But, yeah, they have the same stuff as we saw at the dock colony. Doesn't really matter. At least I think, for the most part, they do. What do you have to say? An eggs factory. Kind of creepy. Well, let's go down here and check this out. This is stupid, but whatever. Professor Giant Robot Training Hall, Chapter 1. Genius Scientist appears. Episode, his name is... Basically, yeah, this guy here is a side quest in all three Xenosaga games that you basically build a giant robot, and all of them are a reference back to the giant robot the Elements had in Xenogears. But yeah, basically the plot of this is that this guy is going to be really kind of strange and all over the place, and he's going to ask you to collect robot parts, which we've already found some of. I think pretty much all of them are in segment addresses, so we're going to get them anyway, and by doing so we get access to some ether spells, which are actually pretty useful. So as you can see, it's kind of like an eggs factory, I guess. It's also a mess, but no, those are children's toys. Children's toys? What do you make here? You ask a lot of questions, and he's talking about us being a spy, and I don't know, he's kind of weird this way. Anyway, interested in machines. Building an invincible giant robot. Yes, he's building a mech. Apparently this one is, yeah, invincible, but it's not an egg, so it's not something you pilot. And that secret is? That's okay. I think I want to leave now. Listen. Have they now? Somehow there are parts for the machine he wants to build scattered all the way around the world. In the segment addresses that are created, if you remember, we talked to the, I think it was, what, Sergeant Swain or whatever about it. they're created by nanomachines that create things, and they leave little holes in areas that aren't really in the way, but they serve no purpose, except for the fact that they have items in them. It's basically just the plot around creating these doors so that we can find treasures, but it's kind of weird that way. Yeah. Decided to entrust you with part of my dream. I don't really want to talk to you anymore. I don't think they give him a voice actor until the third game, actually. Now that I think about it. He might have one in the second game. I can't remember. Yeah, all of these are going to be like this. They don't necessarily talk this much every time, but this is the introduction, so... Anyway, for doing this, we get some bonuses and some rewards, so that's nice. Forgot to say, some parts are useless by themselves. Come back here each time you got some parts. Well, from the different chests that we've, or the different segment addresses that we've opened, we have access. Yeah, his name is Professor. Yeah, that's kind of stupid, but oh well. Yeah. In order to do anything, really, we need to go out and go back in. But we've collected 2 parts already, which means we get Chapter 2. Anyway, we found what you wanted. Already found some. Much faster than I anticipated, considering we got them before we even knew we were looking for them. Give us a special reward. What is this about? He's trying to crap out. Good price at a junk store. Just a little joke. Thing is, what? Factory is so dirty, I don't feel like working. Can you clean up the factory? Why would I clean for you? Yeah, basically use the plug-in and blow stuff up. Okay. Alright, let's just do it. It's another little stupid part of this quest. Yeah, okay. So, put the fast forward on, start blowing things up. There's a whole bunch of this stuff that we can blow up. Once we blow it all up, then he'll actually get his ass off his ass and do some work. There we go. I think that's the last of them. Great job. Those are the robot arms. We got the left arm and the right arm so far. And he pounds away at the giant supercomputer from, you know, like the 70s or some stupid thing. And all the parts go down, and we get electricity, a fade to black, and we get what looks to be a part of a giant robot. And it's called Throny Blade. We'll set it up as ether for Shion. Basically, what we do with these is they become ethers for her until eventually we get the ultimate one, which is actually somewhat useful. But there's nothing else we can do there for now. We need to get more parts and complete more of the plot in order to get access to any more of that. Now, there's some eggs down there, some people to talk to around here. There's a little video game here, which we will be playing. But for now, let's make sure we set that ether before we forget about it. Use ether points and Throny Blade here. Yes, so it's all enemies, slash attack once per battle. Not bad. Now, what should I take off? I probably won't be using that or that. And I won't be using single Medica anymore, so there we go. So those are the Medica, or the spells that she has on now. Probably the best one she has at this stage. And again, she's the only one who gets any of the really good ones. Now, we do have access to Junior, and I will be equipping everybody off screen. But, okay, so the gun I bought I didn't need to, he already had it. But the bullets were better bullets, so there we go. Anyway, that's pretty much all the time I have for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.